Greetings and God bless. So I am just listening to an audiobook about Apostle Paul. And during, I guess, when he was, I don't know if it was when he was a kid or before, but his family was able to keep their citizenship when many other people lost their Roman citizenship. So during this time, that the apostles were around is some Romans lost their citizenship. And who would have thought? Because a lot of people served in the war, and I guess that's how they got their citizenship in Rome. And there's parallels to America in 2023, right? There's a lot of people from another place that come here that think that they're going to get their citizenship and have the American dream that many Americans don't even haven't had. When I look at many of my peers, I would say a majority of my peers did not get the American dream because they didn't play the game and just didn't know how to, didn't have the emotional, wily sneakiness to play the game. I don't know. But anyways, so during the Roman Empire, citizenship was a big deal. And, slavery was a thing. And it's, there's some speculation we're in this new version, this new iteration of the Roman Empire. And, if you look at, so the Supreme Court ruled that if a component that belongs to a company is in this soup. So if a component is in the soup that belongs to, let's say, Microsoft, the Supreme Court says that they own this soup. Now, I have to navigate the AI Big Brother, whatever, because like every month, a video of mine gets removed, even though like 0 people watch it. Okay, so I need you to think here. So what is something that a big company put inside, let's say, this squishy bag of material that was, let's say, a nanotechnology, self-assembling nanotechnology with plasmids, something very valuable that occurred in the past couple of years. So people, or there's these, like, let's call them bags of water, that have this technology that was put inside of them, that they consented to having it put inside of them, whether they kicked and screamed about it or not. So who does this belong to? Like just right now, who does this belong to? It belongs to whoever holds this bag of soup, right? This belongs to whoever has it, whoever can take it. Like the U.S. Constitution does not protect this bag of soup, like as an entity, as a as a living soul, as a being, as a child of God, let's say. So when these walking bags of soup who have technology that belongs to, let's say, Bill Gates in their system, and we're in this new Roman Empire, it seems to me that people are going to lose what we have taken most for granted. We take for granted our citizenship, or that our country protects us. We take for granted our humanity and the inherent sacredness of life. And I think like the inherent sacredness of life has been desecrated by the trusted agents of the public good recently and for quite a while. But now with this technology and the Supreme Court ruling whatever container holds technology that belongs to a corporation, that corporation owns that bag, that container that holds their technology. So I would say it's important not to have technology that belongs to some corporation inside of your bag of water, because they're going to take your bag of water, because the Supreme Court says, oh, even though you bought this beef stew, um, somebody else's um, devices is in here. So because their device is in here, it doesn't even belong to you, even though you may have, you know, bought it. So, and that goes actually for cars and houses and stuff. Like, people don't own it. They own like the right to pay for it or something about, but they don't have the title. They don't have the real ownership. It's really there's this vast corruption that Americans have been swimming in for, it seems, hundreds of years, and it just seems to get worse and worse every generation. So my thought is, if Rome was able to take citizenship away from its Roman citizens, save those who are very wealthy. So apparently, Apostle Paul's father was a wealthy person, so he was able to retain his citizenship. And doesn't that sound like elitism? So the elites, those who have $1 million homes and stuff like that, and incomes and whatnot, they'll be able to keep their citizenship. They'll be able to keep their rights. But those who don't have $1 million home and $1 million incomes, and have, weird technology inside of them, like, I think it's beyond what anybody can conceive of, because it's surreal. It's very kind of science fiction, and it's so inhumane. It's like so. I mean, if a robot or AI wanted to have revenge upon humans, I think taking away like human decency, their right to human decency, their right to human rights, their right to life, liberty, and property, I think that would be a very that would be revenge. If it was AI, although I don't think it's AI that's doing this. I think it's Satan and his minions. So, folks, don't be so confident that, despite how bad things are in America, it'll work out by itself or blah, blah, blah. Like, if the Roman Empire withdrew citizenship to people, except for those who had money, like, that could happen here. And my point is that don't let it get to that point. I'm not exactly sure what all to do, but I think, like, for one thing, don't buy into the globalists, because the globalists are trying to bring in this new Roman Empire. It seems to be it's an empire, and they want to be, the aristocrats, and they want to make all of us slaves and cannon fodder and adrenochrome, organ harvesting farm animals for them. So don't just capitulate to the globalists. And I'm not saying, get yourself into trouble, but I'm just saying, number one, know what matters to you and stand up for what matters to you. And when you're chatting with a friend or a family member or somebody at the grocery store or whatever, like, don't hide what you believe. That you believe you should be able to breathe oxygen without suffocation. You believe that your natural God-given immunity protects you, and you believe that when God wants you to take you home, he'll take you home, whether or not you have some pokes that the government wants to give you. or whatever. And yeah, I mean, do what you are capable and comfortable with, but like just say in a calm way what your thoughts are about things. Because I think what's happened is grandparents and parents who have a more traditional biblical view have clammed up because they don't want their trans, gay grandchildren or children to reject them. And so then the grandparents and parents are, oh yeah, well, I love my little Timmy, so whatever Timmy wants. This is just all. This is what I'm guessing because I don't understand how this mental illness has taken over our country, and just like responsible people. Because during lockdowns, it seemed like everybody capitulated to it. Like, I knew, okay, initially I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's something serious. So, but I, even though, so I was like, don't cough around old men. Like that was my logical thing. And you know what? You really shouldn't be sneezing and coughing and letting your little kid cough without covering its mouth around old people. But you know what? That's what parents do. Parents are like, I don't raise my child. I don't do anything. Other people are supposed to raise my child, or somehow my child's gonna figure everything out on its own. I don't understand it. Um, but but when I went during lockdowns, I was in Virginia, and there's like a military base. There's a lot of military, and I was like, all these military guys walking around with the masks as they're walking from their car to the grocery store, and I just was like, you're pathetic, and if I'm offending anybody, well, I mean to offend you, because when stupid things happen and the protector goes along with it, you've betrayed your role that God gave you, to protect us from stupid things. Because like, what am I gonna do? Like, what can I say to young men in the military or old men in the military walking around with masks when it's fresh air, a nice day in Virginia, and we know you're going to be fine. I mean, all these, like, if they believe in vaccinations, they've been vaccinated up the wazoo, you know? So anyway, so I think we all have a role to play. Just, and do your role. Like, and I'm not saying, and I, have common sense self-preservation or whatever, but like, play your part. Don't just clam up. Don't just like keep your head down, because you don't want your grandchildren to know what they know, because they know that you grew up watching Bonanza or Little House on the Prairie or something like that, and you like those values. There's value to those values, much more than now. Like, I go to the local library and I look at their movies selection or TV shows, and it's all this paranormal, supernatural, horror kind of stuff, or like, like kind of provocative, like covers of the videos, and the topics. It's like always like paranormal, supernatural, drugs, it's just, and no values, no biblical values, no golden rule. And no wonder our country is falling apart, because this is what, when people are off work or whatever, they turn on the TV or Netflix or something like that, and these are the only options. They're not given anything wholesome. So I really think, like, if you want to watch a TV show, like, watch something from the 70s or before, that's not supernatural, paranormal, like, focus on something that's real, like WKRP or Night Court or something like that. Northern Exposure. Because when you're brainwashed with all this supernatural softcore porn TV show kind of stuff, everybody's a superhero or a vampire or something like that, like, you get lost, because we're not hanging out with vampires or zombies or people eating zombies, or you know this is irrelevant, and it's just bad, kind of background noise, especially for now when there are demons really hitting us hard. So, I mean, I think there are vampires. I think, like, the Rothschilds are probably vampires of a sort. And who knows, there might be others that we don't see. I mean, there was that Transylvanian king or something like that. But anyway, um, like, your voice counts, your opinion counts. And even if you are all about this leftist agenda that's taken over, okay, like, your opinion counts, but it doesn't count more than everybody else's. And that's the problem. Is I think the majority of people are traditional, even if they are doing drugs or they're promiscuous or whatever. I think ultimately they do have fundamental traditional values, and folks need to, like, stand fast in that, stand up for that in a sane way. And I think if, like, there's people behaving badly, like, they need to go to jail or a mental institution or the doctor to get some handle on their behavior. And I'm wondering if it's like, if the drugs like Prozac or whatever is causing crazy behavior, the injections, because there's something, like, people seem to be acting up more, I would say, in the past year and a half, like crazy, like weird, like disgusting, like you feel sorry for these people. Um, and it's more recent than, let's say, 2019, because I've been closely following strange news reports and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe since 2016, or maybe even earlier, maybe 2008, off and on. But, like, this past year and a half, like, all these customers assaulting entry level workers at the fast food place or something like that, and weird, executions, like murders of people and stuff like that. And I stand by this because wild and domestic animals are killing people, and it seems like more than they did before. Like, a lot of domestic dog maulings and attacks, like death, like deadly, mortal attacks on elderly people or children that knew the dogs or were from the neighborhood. And it's like a single dog or a lot of pack attacks. And this is in America, India, other countries, maybe Africa, or can't remember all else. But, like, orcas attacking boats, otters attacking surfboards off the shore of Santa Cruz, and the orcas are in off near Europe, near, like, the shore of Portugal. And then, shark attacks, bear attacks in Japan are up like 900% or something like that. Maybe not 900, maybe 600, but, like, animals are attacking. And so I'm thinking that it might be something to do with something in the atmosphere, some electromagnetics. It might be something to do with the injections, something in the injections. Might have something to do with mobile phones. Like, maybe that's irritating wildlife or animals or people. So what do you guys think? These are all just questions. And I'm just wondering, just like you are, but don't just take everything for granted. That's my summary is like, don't take for granted your humanity and your citizenship and your human rights or your civil rights, because just like the Roman Empire took them away uh, in the times when Apostle Paul's family was around, they could take it. The empire that's going on right now could take it away as well. So, thanks for watching. God bless.